Mint is super sensitive. It's like a Virgo. Like, mint is really out here just trying not to get beat up in your cocktails. Hey everybody, welcome to Trouble Bar. I'm Nicole, the resident bourbon maven here, and I'm gonna walk you all through a bunch of different syrup recipes that we are debuting at our lemonade stand this Friday at Trouble. And the easiest way is just to cut this guy into spears. So I cut the cucumber in half, and then I just peel off some spears from the side. And then for our other half of the cucumber, I'm gonna cut the end off here, throw that guy away. And we're just gonna use our peeler really quickly to peel off this skin. And you don't need to, really be too crazy about it. Just need to get all the green skin off. And what this is gonna do is allow our syrup to have a little bit more surface contact with the cucumber. And when we take the skin off, we're just exposing more of that ripe cucumber to the simple syrup that we're gonna make up for it. And same thing with our peeled cucumber. If you want to cut it into or dice it, you can do whatever system you prefer. I like the spears just because they're faster and I don't have to think too much about them. What we're gonna do now is add the sugar. For cucumber syrup, I like to use white granulated sugar. Also, if you're like me and you're cooking through this COVID, then you probably have a bunch of granulated sugar laying around. The regular sugar, white sugar, is kind of helpful because it doesn't have a ton of its own flavor to it. So it's just gonna add and enhance the sweetness of what you're working with. Especially with white sugar, you wanna do equal parts sugar to water. Now, the one time that this is different is if you're doing an infusion like this cucumber infusion. I'm gonna use a little bit extra hot water, mostly because I don't want my syrup to be cloyingly sweet. I just want it to be very cucumbery, very rich, and very refreshing. So, go ahead and add our hot water in here. And if you're making this at home, you should be getting this like beautiful, sweet smell now. All that cucumber scent is gonna be floating up to the top. And this time we're gonna use our Demerara sugar. And we're gonna add that first. And the reason we're gonna add the sugar first is because I like to, make sure my sugar and my mint have gotten really personal. Now, you've probably seen some mint julep recipes where they kind of destroy that mint at the bottom of the cup. I don't really subscribe to that. I like to, I like my mint and my sugar to have, a real love relationship, I'm almost giving this mint like a nice massage with sugar, like a sugar scrub for my mint because I care about it. And really all you need from mint is to kind of open up the capillaries. Mint is super sensitive. It's like a Virgo. Like, mint is really out here just trying not to get beat up in your cocktails. Now we've added all of our hot water, and what we really want to avoid is hurting the mint while it's in here. What we have in each of our cups here is 2 sliced jalapenos, and as you can see, I leave everything in, seeds and all. because I always want a really spicy version of whatever I'm using. So if you core and take the seeds out, it actually just takes longer for whatever you're trying to make spicy, get spicy. So we're gonna do basically about 16 ounces of lime juice into each of these cups. If you've been following along, we have gotten all of our syrups ready and put away. So we'll be back here at Trouble tomorrow so you can see how we're going to take all those syrups and turn them into delicious cocktails. Okay, here we are back on our day after we made all of our syrups. As you can see over here, they've all come out of the refrigerator after one night. And one of the easiest ways to know if your syrup is ready is to taste it. So I've got a few bar straws here so I can walk through, make sure all the syrups are what I want them to be. If you're doing this at home and you don't have bar straws, well, a teaspoon's totally fine. So with the cucumber syrup, you can see just a little bit how it's picked up this like really nice color. We're gonna take a quick taste. Oh, it's perfect. And then our mint syrup, you can see the mint leaves have sort of all sunk to the bottom down there. So we're just going to take a little taste of that. Really good. It's really nice with the Demerara syrup because you don't get, you get a really different flavor than the cucumber syrup. And these are both going to go into the same cocktail. So it's actually going to add this like really nice depth to it. It's going to go really well with some fresh lime juice in that final recipe. And then we've got our spicy lime juice here. This is a tricky one to taste because it's bitter, lime, and spicy jalapeno, so it's probably gonna taste a little funky without anything else in it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So at this point, with your syrups, we're just gonna strain off all the fruit and throw that away. You are gonna strain off the leaves and throw it away. You're gonna throw out the jalapeno pieces. If you are someone who likes to repurpose bar fruit and things like that, you can kind of roast and basically candy the jalapenos if you'd like to. With the cucumbers, you could probably juice them in some kind of way and make like a cucumber puree or something, but they've been sitting in sugar water overnight, so they're probably not delicious to eat fresh, but can be used for a lot of different things. So I'll catch you on the flip side when we've got all these things strained off and we're turning them into cocktails. And now that we have all of our specialty syrups done, we can make our cocktails. So I'm going to start with the Spicy Mango Margarita. This bad boy is an awesome drink because it is sweet, but we've got the spicy element, and it's a great thing to pour into a pitcher for you and your friends. Pro tip, get yourself some Real syrups. I think you can probably see that. This is the mango version. We love Real syrups here at Trouble. We use so many of them. They're really all natural fruit purees that have just the right amount of sugar, so when you use them in cocktails, they don't have all of the extra kind of bitter notes of fruit syrups, and you don't have to make them. And if you run a bar like ours that doesn't have a kitchen, or you yourself are at home and don't want to turn your kitchen into a syrup making factory, call Real. They're based just outside of Louisville in Indiana. You can order their products online or through distributors. So we've got our Boston shaker here full of ice. I'm going to go ahead and add my tequila, usually about 1.5 ounces, depending on how strong you like your margaritas. I'm going to do just a little splash of dry curacao here. If you don't have any curacao and you just want to use orange liqueur or triple sec, feel free. Then we're going to do a full ounce of our mango syrup. And a full ounce of some fresh lemon juice. If you're making these at home, I always err on the side of equal parts lemon juice to the sweetener for my margarita. So that is obviously up to you, depending on how you like your margaritas. And here's our spicy jalapeno lime juice that we made earlier. We're just gonna do about a half ounce of that, just so we do get some of that spiciness into the drink. Now, no matter what shaker you're using, if you're using a Boston shaker or a cobbler shaker, you really want to give your margarita the strongest shake you can. All right. You know it's good when you see that nice frostiness on the outside of your cocktail cup. This one even has steam coming off it right now. It's so well shaken. And then we're going to pour it right into our cocktail glass here. And, of course, it's not a real cocktail if it doesn't have some nice flourish. Hey! And that, my friends, is a spicy mango margarita. Here for our minty cucumber bourbon mule. And I'm so excited about this cocktail. I think it is the perfect way to kick off spring and to celebrate those spring flavors that we're starting to see and taste out there in the world. If you've left your house, who knows? So we're gonna start with 1.5 ounces of bourbon whiskey. I picked Maker's Mark for this particular cocktail. It's one of my favorites for a really light, lovely spring cocktail like this. About 1.5 ounces of that. Now, if you don't have a shaker at home, I'm going to show you a trick here in a couple minutes on how you can make this cocktail without a shaker. But for now, we're going to make it with a shaker just because we have lots of different flavors that we're working with. Then we've got our mint syrup. We're just going to add about 1/2 ounce of the mint syrup and a full ounce of our cucumber infused syrup. And since we're using 2 really sweet things, we're gonna try and balance that out with our lime juice. So I'm using some fresh lime juice here, and I'm gonna do an entire full ounce of that. So you might, if you're adding all these ounces up in your mind, this cocktail is a little bit bigger format than our normal cocktails, which are usually only a few ounces of liquid. So we're gonna put this in a big pint glass. But that's all right, it gives you more time to, drink it. Again, we're just gonna give this a little shake. Make sure all of our syrups are blended up in here. All right, put that guy off. Oh, and the smell, it just smells amazing. And you can kind of see in there, we've got this like beautiful, foamy mixture. We're gonna pour that right into our glass here. Now, if you don't have a shaking glass at home, or a shaker at home, one thing you can do with your pint glass is you can add all the ingredients in and then take a cocktail spoon. If you don't have a cocktail spoon, use a butter knife or a long-handled spoon, whatever you have around. And you're gonna take it all the way down to the bottom, and you're gonna do this up and down and around motion. And that will just aerate and move all the syrups around and get it blended with the lime juice. I do highly, highly recommend shaking this if you are able to. And then we're just gonna top this off with some ginger beer. You can see it's got this really lovely color. Perfect for spring. We're gonna put in a delightful paper straw. Oh yeah, that's spring in the glass right there. Hope you guys enjoy.